And Bob will say, just a little slower. Because he knows what we're all going to be looking at. And so there is a physicality along with everything else, because the other thing, this is one thing you said when we were starting working, and it's almost true. Editing, the editor wants movies, for much of the movie just has to remove the slates, because it all works in one. The scene, the red dot is taken care of in a shot, and then that's it. You even apologize when you have to shoot coverage. Right. We know what coverage is, right? Close-ups, two shots, reverses, all around you. You don't like to do that.
Sometimes it's important. You have to show the audience where the gun is. You have to cut to that. But my feeling about it is that if the scene is well written, and you have really competent, talented actors, there's an energy having the actors all in the same frame, performing at the same time, without imposing the tool of editing on it, unless you absolutely need to. And if you can make it work, I think it's really much more powerful than cutting around.
Well, you end up losing fluidity and malleability, though. So like if
you have to be confident that the scene's working.
Exactly.
So you have to feel it. So there are times you say, okay, let's try this in one, and you do it, and I'm there sitting there, oh, I'm going to have to cut this because I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is. I don't think the scene's going to make it in its entirety in the final movie. I got to figure out a way to take 30 seconds out of the middle of this. And so then I'll say, okay, well, now we got to do some coverage just to be able to have that happen. So it all comes down to being 100% comfortable with the scene you're shooting.
What happens, Bob? Do you walk away from a day, a scene, the day's work, satisfied, 100%, or do sometimes you walk away saying,
So I've been doing these things for film schools my whole life. You're talking about, and when I'm asked, what does a director do? And my answer is, he compromises. And that's what I do every single day. I compromise. I get in the car and I'm doing a shot list, and I've got this magnificent idea for shooting this scene. I've got like a list of 20 setups that are going to be fantastic. By lunch, we haven't got the first setup yet. And then by 4 o'clock, I'm there going, I just got to get enough coverage to put this thing together, right? And so it's just compromise, because you're going to get there and it's going to go, oh yeah, so I thought the door was going to be on that side of the room. Okay, now it's on this side of the room. Oh wait, that one doesn't open. So it's like every day you're in there and you're just sort of compromising your vision. But what you got to do is you got to take that and try to make it even better than what you've got. By using that, that's kind of like you don't have that problem in animated movies, right? Because you do everything that you want it to do, but then you got to think of everything. So what you don't, when you get when you're making a live action movie, you get these magnificent accidents, and you have an actor, read a line that is beyond what you ever thought. And you go, oh my God, that's fantastic. Now I got to do that. I got to have him do that in a close-up. Or you'll have a beautiful, very few times this happens, you'll have a magnificent sunset, and you actually can get the shot in time. Usually you have a magnificent sunset, but they don't get the camera on fast enough. There's a problem. Oh, you got to get there's something that they left in the truck. You have to get it, and then the sun goes down, and then now your beautiful sunset shot is a gray sky. That's usually what happens. But, you know, it's all good.
We're here, I said, we're on the Dog and Pony Show, right, the celebrity deal train right now, and all of America will not be able to escape references to here between now and November 1st. No matter how little TV you watch, you can block, billboards out of your vision, right? You will not be able to escape references to here, so I apologize right off the bat. Merciless, merchandising campaign. Hold America hostage, goddamn. This here came about, and we'll see a clip later on about it. Here came about because my involvement in it, anyway. When did you start working on here as an idea?
You and I were talking about the truffle hunt.
Yes.
And we were talking, and I was saying, you see that movie? It's every scene takes place in this magnificent tableau. And you say, yes, that's the kind of thing that we should do. You were saying we should do something that's, you know, that's so innovative.
All right, I'm going to do another Bob ZEMEKIS imitation, okay? Can you handle this? All right, so long time ago, we might have been working on something I can't remember. Bob gave me this, man, I saw this crazy thing. I was watching the documentary, and it starts with a shot. I couldn't figure out how did they get that shot? What is this shot? It was like in the back of some Jeep, and it was going down this bumpy road. You could see the driver and there's palm fronds, and it's raining, and it's crazy, and the camera's like looking out the window, looking at the kids, they're coming around, they're going down, and looking around, and I get like, how did they get this rig inside the back of this Jeep? I can't figure out, how did they get this shot? What did they use? What kind of camera was it? And then the car stops, and they all turn around, and the camera's whipping around like crazy, and the driver comes around, and he comes out, and he opens the back of it, and the camera comes out of the Jeep, and it's suddenly down in the weeds, and I realize that they put the camera on a dog! Remember that?
That was in the truffle.
That was in the truffle hunt. And so I end up watching this odd documentary called The Truffle Hunters, kind of like, what's on? You want to watch that? No. You want to watch that? No. You want to watch that? Oh, it's a documentary. I did not know it. And when it started with this Jeep going down the thing and the camera whipping around, I said to my wife, this is the scene that Bob talked about! And then we watched the rest of the movie, and so much of it is told in these you just call them tableaus that go on for a very long time, 8, 9, 10 minutes. There's one in there with just a guy being served eggs with truffles in a restaurant. The camera never moves. And we were making Pinocchio. Thank you. We were making Pinocchio in a Zeppelin hangar right next to where they were making the Batman. That they were shooting that in the other Zeppelin hangar. And I kept saying, hey, let's have a gang fight with the cast. Versus the Batman. I think it would have been. We'll take on those guys playing cops in Gotham City because we'll have our little children from where was I going with this? Oh, and it was there that we were sitting around talking. But when I mentioned this about the Truffle Hunters, we were in the office. I said, I wonder if we could do that. I said, you literally said, I mean, you should ask that question because you had the graphic novel by Richard McGuire, and you had drafted the script.
No, I didn't have all I had was the novel, and you went and got it that night on Kindle.
Yes.
At the hotel.
That's right.
The next morning you came in and said, this is fantastic. And I said, great, let's finish this movie, I'll start thinking about it. Literally when we wrapped, I got a call from Eric Roth saying, what's going on, what are you doing? And I said, funny you should call right now, because Tom and I were just talking about this graphic novel called Here, and he said, oh, I don't know what it is, let me find out. You got it that.
Anybody familiar with it? Anybody familiar with the graphic novel?
Okay. No one? Okay, you'll be familiar.
I had to like read it through like 3 times in order to figure out.
Anyway, that was the birth of it.
Okay.
We're gonna get to it.
We will what's that?
I think these are.
Oh, these are the, okay, I had this. Okay, all right. Should we get to this now? Time, are we okay timing? Staff, crack staff?
Time to go, yeah.
Is it time to introduce the clippy clips?
It is.
Okay, all right. So, here's what I want to say.
We can just do one right after the
Wait, no, we'll have 30 seconds in order to talk about it. Because here is a movie that is unlike anything you have seen. Once you see it, you will have seen it and it'll be familiar to it. Here, we're gonna show 3 clips prior to the clip of here. But each one of these movies, before you saw them, were unlike anything you had ever seen. So you're seeing some combination of Baum's imagination, the screenwriting, the narrative story technique, the cinematic aspect, the special effects, everything melded into like a fine shuffle of cards into an absolutely 100% unique movie to you. Just think about, if you can, the movie theater that you saw these in when they first came out. Let's roll. I'm not going to tell you what they are because you'll recognize them. Let's roll with clip number 1.